Cape Cod Broadcasting weaves the listening environments of 99.9 WQRC, Ocean 104.7, WFCC Classical 107.5, Cape Country 104, and CapeCon.com's website experience to reflect the lifestyles of the people who live, work, and play on Cape Cod. We hope that you enjoy this podcast.
I'm Laura Reckford, and this is Sunday Journal. I'm here in the studio with Juliane Dillon, Kennedy-Donovan Center of Cape Cod Community Services Outreach Coordinator, John Latulipe and Cynthia Goldberg, who are both Kennedy-Donovan Center self-advocates. Welcome to the show to you all.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's start with an explanation of what the Kennedy-Donovan Center is, because some people might not be familiar with it. Juliane?
Kennedy-Donovan Center is an agency that was founded in 1969 through the Kennedy family. It was a demonstration grant by Joseph P. Kennedy Foundation given to Luella Hennessy Donovan, who was the private nurse for the Kennedy children. And she really had a heart for individuals with developmental disabilities and special needs, specifically because of the Kennedy's daughter, Rosemary. And so they gave her this demonstration grant, and she decided that she wanted to go to BC and from there just start an agency that would really serve people with special needs. That was in 1969. Now, in 1988, Cape Cod Community Services, or Kennedy-Donovan Center on the Cape, was founded, and we're here now as a result of that. And KDC is actually the only information and referral agency on the Cape for individuals with developmental disabilities and their families.
So it's been here on the Cape, I think you said, since 1988.
That's correct.
It sounds like there are maybe other Kennedy-Donovan centers elsewhere as well. Is that right?
Yes, we are a satellite program. Our headquarters are in Foxborough, and so we have programs all the way from here all the way through to Connecticut, serving a variety of needs. We have day habilitation, adult foster care programs, early intervention programs, a special needs school. And so there are a lot of programs available for folks. But on the Cape, we really are the information and referral agency that serves actually over 250 families on the Cape. And the agency as a whole serves over 6,000 individuals.
And that's what I wanted to ask you, and you just answered my question about how many clients you have here on the Cape. And I think you said 200, 250?
250 families that are in the Family Support Center. So we are the only family support center on the Cape. But the agency on the Cape also serves has adult foster care programs. They have individualized support, shared living. It's very multifaceted.
And the clients are all ages?
All ages, birth through death, whatever that is. Yes.
And you have a special self-advocate program, and perhaps, Juliane, you can introduce it first, and then we can talk to our other guests about their experiences with it. What is the self-advocacy program?
The self-advocacy program is designed to encourage people to actually go by the mission of Kennedy-Donovan Center, which is to help individuals to reach their full potential. And so I specifically work with adults through the self-advocacy program, which we initiated to help these individuals to shine, to spotlight themselves, to have their needs met, to stand up for themselves, not only on a personal level so that they can reach their full potential in their jobs, etc., but also on a political level so that they can have a wider voice by joining with other self-advocates.
And John, let's start with you. Tell me what you do as part of the self-advocacy program and how that fits into your life.
We're trying to get the beat buses to be traveling longer times than what they've been doing, because they've been cutting times for people to go places because they won't do weekend things anymore.
So that's actually some political advocacy,
right.
It sounds like you're doing, which is very interesting. So these are the B buses. For people who aren't familiar with them, these are the buses that are run by the Cape Cod Regional Transit Authority that stop, I think, at people's homes and take them where they want to go.
The breeze buses, too, and because they cut off some on cut-off times.
You'd like them to go longer
yes.
hours and perhaps more days a week. I don't
right.
know if they are 7 days a week at this point.
I don't think they are.
Okay. So
because I haven't seen them around Chatham that much.
Okay, a couple things with the buses and other things that you do as part of being a self-advocate.
I have my own business.
Oh, tell me about that. Interesting.
I have my DJ business.
Okay.
And I DJ dances for Kennedy-Donovan Center, and I do my own private gigs for parties, too.
Okay.
And I have a candle business as well.
What kind of business?
Candle making.
Oh, candle making.
Yeah.
Okay. And you do that out of your home?
Yeah,
or?
at my house.
Okay. Do you have a specialty of the types of candles you make?
I have a list here of bayberry, lavender, lilac, heather, beach daisy, sage and lemon, vanilla, white tea and ginger, and ocean. Those are my favorites.
You make a variety
Yes.
of candles
Yes.
out of your house, and that's your own business that you do. And then you have your DJ business. Right. And I know since we've been here in the studio, we've learned that you also are someone who's very involved with technology. Tell me about that.
Because I help them out with because I go to Cape Cod Media Center, and I do video filming there. We do stuff for the Kennedy-Donovan Center, and I do editing and stuff there.
So very involved in a variety of things. And do you live in Chatham?
Yes, I do.
And grew up in Chatham?
I was born in Canada, actually.
Okay. Came to Cape Cod and now living in Chatham and involved in a lot of different things in the community, it sounds like. And
Right.
Cynthia, let's go to you now. Tell me what you do as part of being a self-advocate.
Well, for being a self-advocate, I've been standing up for me now, which I never really do. But since now I've been part of KDC, it's been helping me realize how important it is to get in the community of being around people and being around myself. Makes me feel like I'm actually at home in my heart.
That's great. And I think that I knew about you actually before you even came here because you're actually a published author. Tell me about that.
Yes, I am. Actually, I've been a published author since 2010. And I started to publish a book. And I did my poetry and my art. And I've done it through Tessa D'Agostino, which is my poetry and my artwork combined to publish the book, to create my feelings towards myself and everything. And I had the book signing. I had it at the Market Street Bookshop in the Commons.
Very nice. In Mashpee Commons. And I think you brought a copy of your book there with you.
Yes, I did.
What's your book called?
It's called The Tale of the Two Cynthias.
Okay, so you put that together, which is very impressive.
Yes.
And then what other things do you do in the community, Cynthia?
Usually I go out there to explore things, basically. And I have a lot of hobbies.
Oh, tell me about some of your hobbies.
I've done the Esprit Players. I've been doing the some of the shows, which we've been doing, and which I love music, and that brings touch to my heart on that. And then from that, I've been doing my art, my music, theater at the Latulipe Center for the Arts, and also I did the Key Project with the Norliners, and that helped a lot with all of that too. And also I've been doing a lot of stuff to like bring out myself, and to I dance, I do theater, I do art, I do sports. I'm in a Special Olympics team called the Cape Cod Waves.
Great. So you're involved, like John, you're involved with a wide variety of things. I'm Laura Reckford, and this is Sunday Journal. We're talking about the Kennedy-Donovan Center, which is here on Cape Cod, and their self-advocacy program. And I'm here with Juliane Dillon, an outreach coordinator with the center, and two self-advocates, Cynthia Goldberg and John Latulipe. We have John and Cynthia here, very, very involved in the community. Is this unique within the program, or do you have many people who are as involved as John and Cynthia are?
We have a number of people involved, but our goal is to actually network with other agencies on the Cape. So Cynthia and John and a young man who's also famous on the Cape, Kyle Gieselman, the three of them will go to different agencies on the Cape to speak about the self-advocacy program and encourage individuals to join our individual programs or to start their own. Now, on the Cape, we meet once a month, first Tuesday of every month, either at the TGI program in Centerville, which is toward greater independence, or at the Life program in Hyannis. We alternate months, and our goal is to just get all different folks together from different agencies there. And again, then from that point on, network out to other programs at different agencies.
And how can people in the community get involved, participate, help you out with this program?
There's a number of ways that people can help us out. If we have an interest, too, as John mentioned, with the RTOA program, to try to extend that program for our folks because the way the bus is set up right now, they can get, like, let's say, to the movies on a Friday night, but they don't have a bus to go home. So they're kind of stuck. And the RTA folks have been working with us a bit, but just for people to speak up about our needs, it's important, like we're doing this show today, to let people know that we exist and we do have needs. And we have a website, www.kdc.org, and so a bit about our program and our needs are on there, and every voice that stands behind us helps us. So just getting the word out is really important.
Now, if there's a business on Cape Cod that, say, wants to get involved with the program, perhaps sponsor some of the self-advocates, is that part of what people can do to help?
Absolutely. We take all the help we can get, and we do appreciate our partners. We have a lot of support from different agencies on the Cape, the bigger agencies and smaller agencies as well, and individuals. So we're always open to having people help us out, and we do appreciate when people get in contact with us to do that. Help the individuals out, but also help us as a group. And the name of our program is CAST, Cape Advocates Standing Together.
Great name for that, CAST, Cape Advocates Standing Together. And John, you were telling us about all the different things you do. How did you learn to become and have an expertise in technology and some of the other things you do? Where did you come to get those skills?
I've been doing DJing myself. I've been practicing myself, and I've been doing family parties before I do my own business. And a lot of my family likes the hard work I do, and so that's why I made it to a business. And a lot of people like the music I choose.
And what about technology? How did you get involved in that, and how did you learn all the skills that go into that?
Because I was in high school, Chatham High School, and I did a video course, and that's how I know a lot of techie work and stuff like that.
And then you must have also learned how to make candles from someone. Who taught you that?
No, nobody didn't. I cheated myself.
You figured it out yourself. And what was it about candles that made you want to get into that?
Because paraffin wax is not good for your lungs or your system, because I had a customer of mine bought a lot of my candles, and she was happy with mine because she had cancer. And when she got mine, she didn't have cancer anymore.
So this can really help people, and you like to help people. I can tell that. Now, Cynthia, in terms of writing a book, how did you learn to have the skills to be able to do that?
Well, actually, I took language arts back in high school, and I kind of learned from that from Atlantis Academy, and I was in Florida, and I learned how to do my writing, and then I grew from that, and then getting better and better and better. And then since I got better with writing, so I decided on my own to write a book. And then I had help on the way to support me to get it published. And then so I ended up coming up with poetry out of my head, because I know it from my head and it goes right on paper.
That's great. And so you have your books, and can people get that in local bookstores here on the Cape?
Actually, right now I have a website. Actually, right now, the only one that's selling it right now is Capabilities. So now I'm looking for more stores to do it with.
And I'm glad you brought up Capabilities, and I wanted to ask you, Juliane, do you work with other groups on the Cape like Capabilities in terms of working with people with special needs?
We absolutely do. Again, we are an information and referral agency, so our goal is when we have a referral from, let's say, DDS, which is the Department of Developmental Services, our goal is to take the individual or the family and then sort of bring them into an opportunity with other agencies. So it may be capabilities or community connections or any of the other agencies on the Cape we will refer out to. So our goal is to network with all of the agencies. And as I mentioned, John and Cynthia just recently spoke at the Transitions Program in South Yarmouth, and we're looking forward to having them go out into capabilities and community connections and the other programs on the Cape. So we love working with the other agencies.
Do you have other events coming up later in the year?
For our adults, we do. We have an annual Halloween party now. Last year we had 95 folks come for that. It's just an excellent time. But we do a lot of programs, recreational programs with our adults. We've done dessert cruises and Valentine's parties and so on and so forth.
And then there's a whale watch coming up in September.
And the whale watch in September. That's open to everybody on the Cape. We actually space for 250 folks on the Cape.
Lots going on with the Kennedy-Donovan Center, and unfortunately, we're out of time. I've been talking to Juliane Dillon, the outreach coordinator for the Kennedy-Donovan Center, and Cynthia Goldberg and John Latulipe, who are both self-advocates at the Kennedy-Donovan Center. Thank you all for being with me here today.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you, Laura.
I'm Laura Reckford, and this is Sunday Journal.
This podcast is a presentation of Cape Cod Broadcasting, which is solely responsible for its content. Thank you for listening. For more information, please visit us at capecodbroadcasting.com.